Voice of Care, equipping the church to nurture people with disabilities and their caregivers in their walk with Christ. Voice of Care is a primarily volunteer organization supported by congregations and individual donors.
Voice of Care is a recognized service organization of the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod, but is not funded by the church body.
Voice of Care primarily serves areas in northern Illinois, where there are over 1 million people with a disability, 90% of whom are not connected to a church home. This is a huge mission field. Congregations like yours are a necessary part of reaching out to share the good news of Jesus our Savior with our neighbors who live with developmental disabilities and with those who care for them. Voice of Care trains individuals within congregations how to be inclusive of people with disabilities in their worship and Christian education programs. Voice of Care helps congregations set up caregiver respite programs that could include Bible study for those who have special needs. Voice of Care also connects facilities for people with disabilities to nearby congregations. Volunteers are trained to lead devotions, music, and Bible story time. Voice of Care partners with Wall Camp Outdoor Ministry and Retreat Center in Kingston, Illinois, to provide special needs camping programs, recruiting and training volunteers to serve at these well-attended getaways. Voice of Care has many ways for you and your church to be a part of reaching out to share Jesus with people living with developmental disability. You can pray for the ministry of Voice of Care, for leaders, volunteers, and those served. You can support Voice of Care with your monetary gifts or participate in Voice of Care fundraisers. You can volunteer individually or as a church to serve with Voice of Care at facilities or at camp. You can help your church begin or expand a program to serve those with disabilities and receive training from Voice of Care. Voice of Care has a place for you. Visit Voice of Care online at voiceofcare.org or call 630-231-3862.